The employees at the Sea Star Aquarium were truly bewildered. For 3 days, the electrical system was out. To find an answer to this curious problem, they spent a night at the aquarium. The culprit was the last they expected. It was none other than Otto the octopus. Otto was simply bored with the limited activities in the aquarium. As a spokesperson for the aquarium stated, we knew Otto was bored as the aquarium was closed for the winter, and at 2 feet, 7 inches, Otto had discovered that he was big enough to swing over the edge of his tank and shoot out the 2,000-watt spotlight above him with a carefully directed jet of water. The spokesperson went on to say it wasn't unusual to see Otto doing unconventional activities, for he had been caught throwing stones at the side of his tank, rearranging his tank, and even juggling hermit crabs. Hello, I'm Willa Stewart, and today, with the help of my friend the octopus, I would like to convince you that an octopus is one example of how our humans aren't the most sophisticated species on this planet as we often think. Now, when you think of the most intelligent creatures, your mind may not go to an octopus, but they are in fact quite intelligent. An octopus has about as many neurons as our canine friends, but only a third of these are located in its central brain. The other 2/3 are actually located in their arms, the same place their other 8 brains are. Each of their arms has a brain in it that allows it to control independently. An octopus even has the largest brain-to-body ratio of any invertebrate, as well as some vertebrates. Now, it's especially impressive that an octopus has this level of intelligence, considering they share a phylum with snails and slugs. No offense to these slimy mollusks, but they're not exactly known as intellectual powerhouses. Just for a little background info, you may be interested to know that an octopus is part of the cephalopod class, along with squid and cuttlefish. The word cephalopod comes from the Greek words cephal and pod, quite literally meaning head and foot, respectively. The two combined, with the addition of the Greek combining form o mean head foot, a nod to the fact that a cephalopod's head and feet are directly attached. If you think about it, an octopus is simply a swimming mass of head and legs. Now, one characteristic of animals that we often associate with intelligence is eye contact. Like when your dog stares into your eyes when he knows it's dinner time. Eye contact is something people constantly use, and it helps us establish a greater emotional connection with other people and animals. One California mudflat octopus demonstrated this in a big way. Gene Bull, a biologist specialized in octopus behavior, was feeding octopi. These octopi were apparently sticklers for fresh food. And Bull had to give them some shrimp that was past its peak freshness. After going around and giving first portions, Bull went back to the beginning to begin serving second servings. There she found a female octopus at the front of her tank. According to Bull, the octopus made eye contact while taking a piece of shrimp in one of its tentacles. Maintaining eye contact all the while, it then crawled over to the drain at the bottom of the tank and unceremoniously shoved the offending meal into the opening. It's incredible that this octopus was able to know where the food was coming from and clearly express its disgust with its subpar meal. An octopus can use tools such as a shell as their large shield or stones to block their den. An octopus can even distinguish between different people, open jars, and solve puzzles. An octopus in the UK took these last traits a step further. After the fish kept going missing in an aquarium tank, an octopus was spotted crawling out of its tank, going to a nearby one, opening the lid, and eating the fish inside. It would then close the lid, go back to its tank, and hide all of the evidence. Now, an octopus can perform these incredible tasks thanks to its distinct bodily features. One of an octopus's 8 arms has about 280 suckers on it, which they use for taste, grip, and smell. The only hard part of an octopus's body is its beak, so a very large octopus can fit through just a quarter-sized hole. Now, you may think these cave-dwelling mollusks are not as compassionate as us mammals, but they in fact have 3 times as many hearts as we do. 2 of these pump blood to its gills, and while the 3rd pumps blood throughout the rest of its body. This blood is actually blue, which allows an octopus to survive in some very cold environments. The blue color is obtained from the pigment hemocyanin, which allows an octopus's body to be easily transported throughout with oxygen. Now, an octopus also has the unusual ability to change color. Now, when you think of color-changing creatures, your mind may go to a chameleon. But an octopus is loads better at this. It typically takes a chameleon 20 long, possibly life-threatening seconds to change color. It only takes an octopus a tenth of a second. An octopus can do this thanks to its chromatophores. These cells on the top layer of the skin are filled with black, red, yellow, and brown pigment, and can open and close whenever the brain tells them to, allowing more or less pigment to show. Not only can an octopus change the color of its skin, but also its texture. They have bumps on the surface of their skin called papillae, which can get larger or smaller depending on what the octopus needs to camouflage with, whether it's the smooth sand or a rocky cave. And researchers have observed that they change color while sleeping. This could correlate with the patterns of sleep octopuses are experiencing. No one can tell for certain, but these could be caused by dreams the octopi are experiencing. Unlike many of their fellow ocean-dwelling creatures, an octopus is one of the most committed moms. After a female finds a male larger than herself, they swim to the bottom of the ocean to a deep cave where the eggs are eventually laid. The male then leaves the female to care for her 50,000 rice grain-sized eggs. These eggs are hung in strands all over the cave, and the mother octopus uses her arms to fan oxygen-rich water towards her young. She continues doing this for about 6 months while not eating a thing, until she finally tragically dies. Researchers in the Monobrain Bay observed an octopus affectionately named Octobrain, who was observed breeding her eggs for over 4 years. An octopus is a very fascinating creature because of its foreign, mesmerizing qualities, but also because it can do things that we often associate with us humans and other mammals. I think this is why people like me find an octopus so amazing. It seems so incredible that they can change their color in the blink of an eye, have more hearts than we do, but can perform such intelligent tasks and create emotional connections to us humans. I could tell you a million facts about octopi, but it won't give you a good picture of how graceful and awe-inspiring they can be. Now, sometimes we humans think of ourselves as the far and away superior species on this planet, mainly because we see ourselves as being far more mentally able. But an octopus has so many different, unique qualities that it makes you wonder if we should reevaluate what makes a species inherently superior. And this is only one example of one species on our planet that we can begin to recognize as intelligent. What about all the other creatures out there? They may just have a very different way of living their lives that we cannot begin to recognize as intelligent. If we all pay a little more attention, we'll notice all the little creatures surrounding us and realize we aren't the only ones that know what's going on. And with this, I'd like to ask you to consider the creatures around you with more care, respect, and curiosity, for we may not be as alone as we think. Taking the time to observe these beings will give us more insight and appreciation for the vast range of intelligent beings that exist on this planet. Thank you.